Remedies Code. The plaintiff filed the affidavits late. Under the statute, the filing must be done 90 days after defendant's answer. Defendant answered on September 3rd, 2021. The information I have is that the plaintiff filed this Civil Practice and Remedies Code 18.001 affidavits on April 6, 2022. For that reason, by statute, it is late and should be struck. And defendants requesting the court strike the 18.001 affidavits of the provider's accident and injury chiropractic, Lone Star Radiology, and White Rock Open Air MRI.
Okay, response.
Good morning, Your Honor. We're just asking for leave that we file those affidavits late and that they be accepted on the date that they were filed in April. The court has discretion to do so. The trial is not until April 18th, 2023, so there's no real prejudice to the defendant. And of course, it would be reasonable to grant them additional time to file controverting affidavits. I would not oppose that if they got 60 days, 90 days, something like that, to file controverting affidavits.
So I haven't had this come up a whole lot. What exactly? So let me look at this. So what section of the code do I have discretion? Because I typically would allow you to do this. So the party offer the evidence, offering the affidavit and evidence of the party's attorney must serve a copy of the affidavit on each party of the case by the earlier of 90 days after the defendant files an answer, blah, blah, blah. Notwithstanding the service of So what section gives me discretion here?
Well, for one thing, I know the Supreme Court gave you discretion with the emergency orders that came out due to COVID. The courts were given
Okay
on deadlines, including even statute of limitations. So certainly this deadline would.
Did this?
But it's mine.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
no, go ahead.
It's my understanding. I honestly, I don't have 1801 in front of me, but it was my understanding the courts,
Your Honor,
got pretty broad discretion with that.
Yeah, Your Honor. If I may, I'm sorry. I do have it up, and it's. I've got to alert the court. It is under Section I.
Okay.
Deadlines may be altered by all parties with agreement or with leave of the court.
Okay. I'm going to grant leave of court. I'm going to give you time to do a counter affidavit. So
we're past, and Your Honor, if I may, we are past the expert deadline. So I guess I would, if the court's inclined to grant leave for counter affidavit filing, I would ask the court then to grant leave for designation of defendants experts if that's something that defense decides to do.
I'm agreed to that as well.
That's fine.
And let me, can I just add something just in the sake of caution, I guess. We also filed affidavits on June 14th that they weren't mentioned in the defendant's motion to strike, but those were for the hospital and emergency room bills. And I just asked that those also be.
I can't, they haven't moved to strike it, so I don't really know that I could do that, but I guess.
Okay, all right.
If he's okay with it, why don't you guys do this? Mr. Witham, why don't you go ahead and prepare an order, or sorry, Mr. Bogus, why don't you prepare an order on this that you have granted leave to allow additional time for you to file the affidavits, that Mr. Witham will have additional time to designate experts, to file counter affidavits. And I anticipate, and for some reason I can't find this case now. What is the, give me a second. What is the cost number on this case?
It is 21,09593.
Let's see. Okay. Okay, this isn't set for trial until April, so we should have time to do all this. I was going to see if we needed to move the trial setting. So go ahead and give him additional time. You guys work out the details. I would say typically additional 30 days to do counter affidavits and additional maybe 45 days to do expert designations. And anything else we need to chat about? And so the order should say at the beginning on September 12th, 2022, instead of on this date. And then make sure you share a copy of the order with Mr. Witham, and then try to get that submitted to me by Friday.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, guys?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And just in the future, Mr. Witham, this is kind of how I approach these. I haven't had a whole lot of them, but unless there's just a very unusual situation, I'm not going to probably strike affidavits. That being said, I will probably give you additional time if that's kind of how it all plays out. So
Thank you, Judge.
But just FYI. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
all right, you guys have a great rest of your day. Okay.
You as well. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Bye-bye.